What's good, y'all? Let me turn off this light real quick. Look bright. Okay, Rob in the house. Today I want to talk about how I met Jean Michel Basquiat, also known as, I call him Jean Michel. You already know, excuse me, when eating some black grapes, about the famous artist that I call Jean Michel, but everybody call him Michael Basquiat. I'm not even used to that name. I call him John. Start off back in the days. Was that club? It was a little club on I'm thinking back. What was that club at? Was that in the Grill? Nah, it wasn't. Yeah, it was the original The Grill. The original The Grill used to be on 23rd Street. Was it 23rd Street? Cause it's been you talking over 35 years ago. So bear with me. I'm trying to put y'all there. Was it on 8th Avenue? It might have. It was either on 14th Street and 8th Avenue over there, the old The Grill, or 23rd Street, one of those places. But it might be on 14th Street and 8th Avenue and stuff like that. Right now I got a little barbecue going over there, my neighbors and stuff like that. So they got the music, so you might hear a little music in the background and stuff like that. So I'm gonna do this little short video. It was crazy. I used to write graffiti, Crane, RTW. I'm Crane. Crane TNS, that's me. Crane Style, that's me. Yeah, I used to be down writing on trains with famous people like Men One, Quick, my boy Is the Wiz and all them, Rich, Big Rich, you name it. I mean, it's so many. Sam Sever, all these writers. And my best friend when I was younger was LaRocque, who used to do paintings with Keith Haring. He used to write LA2, real famous LA2. If you follow Keith Haring, you know about LaRocque, and you know we used to hang together. It was Crane and LA2, LaRocque. You know what I'm saying? I haven't seen him in years. Peace, LA. You watching this video, if you happen to come across this video, you know I gotta give you a shout out. And me and him go back because we used to be in PS 61 together, the Lower East Side. This is crazy. He was doing it at that age, man. He was getting money. He was getting a lot of money at the age of like 14. He was seeing G's. And I'm talking about at that time, he was making about 20,000, like nothing. I'm telling you, I was his best friend. We was hanging. I used to go with him and pick up checks, and I was like, oh, and I wasn't getting no money. Like I was, whoa, like, yo, you making money like that? Like I mean, like I couldn't even understand it. Like I'm like, I never had a job in my life, so I'm like, yo, what's the deal with that? Yo, like, you just throwing up a tag, you and Keith Haring, y'all doing, you know, exhibitions together, painting sculptures and stuff. And he just writing you a check, and you know, I'm going with you, and you picking up thousands of dollars in checks. I'm like, whoa, I want part of that lifestyle. So at that time, I was rapping in the park. You know, I was developing my craft, you know, and I was becoming like dangerous, young rapper. You know, one of them young rappers from the hood that when I came around, older guys got scared. Like, what are you doing here? You know what I'm saying? I'm like this. You know, like the B-boy stand, like, yeah, let me get that mic. One, two, him. You know what I'm saying? It was on and popping, like, you know, like, so LA used to love hearing me rap. He'd be like, yo, Crane. So you call me Yo Crane, you know, because at that time, you know, everybody knew me, Crane, K-Rob, all that, you know. I was K-Rob when I was on the mic, Crane when I was on the train, Crane style, you know what I'm saying? So it was crazy, you know? So I'm like, he's like, yo, Crane, let me hear that rhyme. And I start rapping, you know, like I ain't gonna go into the rap, but you know my raps, you know, my old joints. You know, I knew a girl named Dot who was in love with mine. You know, y'all know that one right there. Those people that know me from back in the day, I used to kill them with that one. Everybody loved that one. So now, it's like, so he used to be around a lot of famous people, man. Michael Jackson, he been around me. So many people. I met so many people with this guy at a young age, and I was doing my thing with graffiti and rapping. But I was just like becoming like a little legend in the street, you know, like that. But I wasn't known yet, you know. But I was hanging with him, so people knew me. But they never knew I could rap like that because I never revealed it to that circle, to that funhouse circle, to that graffiti world. You know what I'm saying? You know, because that was something personal to me, and that was a whole different world over there. You know, it was a little, you know, little eccentric world, but I loved it. But it was like, whoa, you know, you had the hood world, you know, the street world, and you had the village world. You know what I'm saying? And I loved it because I got a chance to escape to the village world to keep me out of trouble. You know, but it was a lot of drugs and a lot of wow stuff for a little young guy like me to couldn't understand at that time. Little weird stuff. So. But get back to my story. I used to come around, and LA used to put me on the spot. He'd be like, yo, Craig, say that rap. And I used to be like, just killing it, you know. And people used to be like, yo, God, you are challenging. You're like, you know, I'm like, and I used to be real shy, like, oh, thank you, you know, like, thank you and stuff like that. And they used to be like, yo, no, you're really, really good. And I'm like, yeah, I'm okay, all right, thanks. You know, like, humble and all that. Then one day, I got invited to this event by that's kind of hot. I'm feeling that. I still got it, but I mean, you know, my style. But so all to the new guys, peace. Y'all doing your thing. Keep doing it. Cause we had our time. Now it's your time. But anyway, so I got invited to the grill. And it was, I can't remember, was his name Easy G? Something like that. He was down with the Zulu Nation or something like that. And he heard me rap, and he was quite frightened of me, you know? But he tried to befriend me, and I was always running into rappers like that try to befriend you just to try to steal your style, just that, because they knew you was nice, you know, like biters, you know? And not that he was a biter, because he wasn't no biter. But he was like, yeah, man, you know, come through. And he was supposed, to tell you the truth, he was supposed to do the record with Jean Michel. Really. So history it wouldn't been no history with bebop. Straight like that. So all of a sudden, I go to the place, and everybody who's somebody is there. I'm talking about Bambaataa. I mean, too many names. Futura, all the writers, all the people that was getting money at that time known. You know, it was loaded with celebrities in the place, and I was nobody. You know, I was just known to be fighting a lot, you know, going to things and just fighting, like graffiti, fighting people. I was young and wild and stupid, you know what I'm saying? You know, you said something to me, I was a hothead, like, yo, what's up, let's get it on, you know? It was that type of thing, you know? Man, it was fun. I just think about it, was crazy. So all of a sudden, you know, and I'm like, yo, what's up, Easy? What's good, man? Yo, what's good? Yeah, yo, I'm gonna let you get on the mic, all right? Cool. So he on the mic, he doing his thing, I guess. You know, he doing his thing. So I'm waiting for him to turn the mic over to me, like, and my man LA with me, and he didn't care. LA didn't care. What I love about LA, he was like one of the realest dudes I know. Little, short, but had a heart of a lion. LaRocque. That's what he's a rock. You know, that's why I fucks with him. You feel me? Cause he remind me of, yeah, we strong, we gonna get this. Nigga, LA didn't care about nothing. Like he did, he was breaking grounds, writing on sanitation trucks when people never even thought about doing that. He didn't care, man. He broke grounds. He did revolutionary things. Okay. So now I'm in there, right? And he rapping like, I'm like, yeah, and I'm just standing there humble, like, okay, this guy gonna let me get on the mic? Go pass the mic to me, right? Right? Pass the mic to me. You know what he did? He turned the mic off. Now, nobody in the place know I rap like that, but only a few people like L.A., Keith Haring and stuff like that, they know I raps and they know I get busy. You feel me? Now, Fat Five Freddy, all of them in the house, right? So all of a sudden, my man L.A. just say, like, I ain't having this. Like, what? He grabbed the microphone and the mic was off. And he was like, and it was a guy from Zulu Nation up in the booth who was controlling the mic. He was like, and you couldn't hear nothing. He was like, turn the mic off. Then it came on before I fuck you up. And we young dudes, like, and I'm like, yo, LA, yo, like, dude, you gonna get our ass kicked. I can't beat this dude. This nigga look about 19 years old. Like, I'm young. I would have fought him, but I would have got my ass handed to me, you know? Right? At that time, because he was big. He's a diesel, man. He must be just some jail time. Came down, you know, he came down there. And, you know, we had a little crew in the house, like, so he came down there and he kind of laughed at LA, but respected, like, because, you know, because people crowd around, like, yo, what's going on? Like, and, you know, they had our back, LA's back and all that, right? So he was like, and he asked LA, yo, what you say? And then he was like, I said, turn the mic on now before I get Fat Five Freddy to fuck you up. And I'm like, oh shit, like, and you know, Fat Five Freddy squashed it right there, right? And he said, nah, man, I just want my man to get on the mic. You know, let him rap, man. You know, let him get on the mic. Boom, boom. Right? I'm like, all right. I'm like, I should zone out when I rap. So it was like, and I already knew that I had some type of skills, you know, but I, you know, I used to just take it as humble, like, whatever, yo, like, you know, this is what I do, but, you know, this is your world, so, you know, and they was like, yo, so what beat you want to rhyme to? And I was like, throw on Rocking It by the Fearless Four. And I and I just started flowing like I do. And people, and I saw their faces, they was like, Crane, you rap? Like Crane, the Crane that ride on trains that be fighting all the time. Now all these dudes is like, know me for fighting, but not really. I was a toy graffiti writer at that time, but I was getting a name, but I wasn't, you know, I was getting good, but I wasn't where I was at later on in graffiti, you know? And it was like, what? And I started killing it. And then after I did my thing, I just bowed down humbly, like, yo, thank you, threw the mic down, and walked away. Everybody came up to me that day. They was like, yo, kid, you are nice. And just by being in the right place at the right time. So all of a sudden, I didn't know Jean Michel was in the house. And John at that time was big. He was the Eddie Murphy of the art world at that time. He was huge. Andy Warhol was there. All of them was there, right? So Keith come to me and said, somebody want to meet you. And I vaguely know, I heard a lot about John, but I didn't really, I heard he was bigger than Keith Haring at the time, but they was friends, you know? And even Keith, like, yo, this guy's really doing it, you know, gave him his props. And he was like, I was like, okay, I'll meet him. And he came up to me very, 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 very humble. And was like, yo, you sound good, man. Like, really, like, no, you really, really sound good, man. That was really great, man. Yo, he just, you know, he was asking, yo, what's your name? Crane. He was like, he heard about me from graffiti, but I guess, and he said, you Crane, right? And I said, yeah, you know, my rap name is K-Rob. And he was like, yo, listen, I'm having a studio session. I was thinking, you know, seeing what I could do in the studio. I want you to come by that day. And I could see Easy G, whatever his name, looking at me like, oh, no, I knew not that you get the mic. And I'm like, I just did what I did. And it was like, you know, everybody from Chera, Don D, you name it, man. So many people revolt. Oh, it was legends in the house. I mess with legends. People who started off doing the graffiti, the knowns. I always rock with big time people. It was just like that. It was just that era. You know, graffiti, rap. They was all there. Rock Steady crew. They was all there. Michael Holman, everybody. You know. So now I'm like, and everybody like, yo, you know who that is? And I'm like, nah, who is that? It's like, that's Jean Michel, you know, Michael Basquiat. And I'm like, okay, you know, like, okay, yo, do you know who that is? And I'm like, nah, that's Jean Michel, they keep saying. I'm like, cool, okay. And they like, what do he want? He said, nah, he just told me to go by the studio and, you know, he want me to rap over some beat and something that he putting together and stuff like that. And that was it, you know. Went home. Nobody knew. And they was more excited than me. And I'm like, okay. And that's when I went to the studio and Bebop, K-Rob versus Rammellzee was born. And like I said, that was the day I met Rammellzee, the legendary Rammellzee. Rammellzee. This is the mellow they call Rammell. First one. The rap off the top of his head. Didn't write no rhymes down. Straight like that. It was just spitting. Like if I was throwing a certain way, he was like, you know, Ram was great. Miss him. Love you, death, brother. Miss you, man. Miss that brother, man. He used to call me. I don't care. I don't hear Ram. I would hear from Ram at least about 4 times a year. He's essentially a genius. Like, yo, K-Rob, like Rammell, you know. And I just love that, you know. And then, that's how me and him met, and that song was born. You know, we just did our thing. And John was mad humble. And John used to pay me money. And I was only 15 years old at the time. The record came out when I was 16. But I was 15 years old. I didn't know it was going to be a record. Like I said, I was in Dance Interior, and then people was walking around with this record, and I was like, who record is that? And it was like, that's your record. I'm like, my record? I was broke, man. Yo, thank you, God. Thank you, man, for that time. Man, that's just a memory I could never forget about. So then, John used to always be all around the world, Europe, all around the world, just with his paintings and all that. You know, he used to call me up. He loved me because I didn't care about his money. He was rich. The dude was rich. The dude was rich in his early 20s. He was a millionaire. He was making like 40 to 50,000 a painting. His paintings are now, you know, I got paintings I got paintings. That's all I didn't want to say, but you know, that's worth a lot of money, and I don't even care about them. That's my friends, yo. You know, people like, yo, you got these paintings, you can sell. What? What? Get out of here with that nonsense. These are my friends. I better give it to my son, tell him don't ever sell these things. These are not to be sold. You understand? You know, from Keith Haring with LaRocque, you know, Andy Warhol on it, Kenny Shaw, all types of. I can show you the boards. I can go up there and get the boards and bring it like bang. Matter of fact, I'm gonna show you one on my video, probably one of my videos, you know, and show you that I got like paintings like straight like that. That's worth a lot of money, and I would never sell them because no money could. It's priceless. These are my friends. These are memories, and I miss those dudes. Keith Haring, you know, rest in peace. Jean Michel, rest in peace. And John, back to the story. John used to call me up, and John would be like, come from town. He'll call me up, K-Rob. And John had a very, very cool demeanor about it. He was smooth, man. He'd be like, yo, K-Rob, man. Yeah, I'm just, you know, doing my thing. You know. And at that time, he was dating Madonna. He was dating Madonna at that time. And, you know, Madonna's cool and all that, too. So, but he was dating Madonna at that time. He'd be like, yo, come see me. I'm in town. I'd be like, all right. He was like a big brother to me. I was 15. John had to be at that time, I don't know, just estimating maybe 20, 21. you know, but he was older than me, and you know, when I used to go to his crib, he lived in Soho. He used to have a crazy loft that used to, you know, buzz me up, like in the elevator used to open up in his house, like in the middle of his house, and come out in the village. This I'm telling you, John was getting money, but the crib was crazy with paintings all over the place, and the paintings, to tell you the truth, I couldn't understand it because it looked like a little kid doing the paintings, like, but it was abstract that people loved it, and I was in there, and John used to be like, and John was real down, you know, real sad, like only, you know, when I come around, he would liven up and be like, "Yo, K-Rob, you different, man. You know, you know, you different, man." I'll be like, "What do you mean I'm different?" He said, "Yo, man, you don't care about my money." I'm like, "Nah, man, I want to do music, man. We're gonna do the next record, man." You know, and he used to hit me off of money and be like, I was like, "Okay, cool." You know what I'm saying? And other things, not to go into, you know what I mean, read between the lines back in those days, you know, so, and I'm like, wow. And then me and he be like, come on, K-Rob, let's go outside. And we go outside and we walking down the street. People are just in awe with him because he's famous, you know, and they like, Jean Michel, you know what I'm saying? We going in stores in the village and we walking through, and he got a brand new coat on, brand new coat, spanking leather coat, trench, that he painting and got paint on. That's probably, to this day, probably worth millions of dollars. I mean, I guarantee you that jacket that he wore is worth millions of dollars right now today. You know, and we walking in, and they like, Jean Michel. And John is like real humble. He's like, "Hey, what's up? Yo, this is K-Rob." And that K-Rob, you know, like, "Oh, nice to meet you, K-Rob." And I'm young. I'm like, "Oh, okay." You know, I'm like used to no that type of tension. You know, I'm young. I just want to do music. And boy, oh boy, John was the best, man. You know, for the time that I spent with him on the earth. And he used to say, "Yo, man, you don't want my money, you different." Say, "Yo, you smart, man." He said, "You very smart." And I said, like, "Oh, okay, thank you, John." You know, because you don't care about this other stuff, like all these other people around me. All they care about is my money. And at that time, I was young. I didn't really understand what he was saying. But now that I'm older, I understand what he was saying. You know, when you get some type of money and people come around just to come around, you don't know who your friends are. I didn't care about his money. All I wanted to do was music. You know, he gave me my start, and that's what led me into producing my first record, because he passed away, and I was hurt, man. I heard John died of an overdose, and I was like, damn, man, like, messed me up for a little bit, and I was like, damn, like, you know, after a while of, you know, mourning his death, you know, I was like, and you know, people was dying. Keith Haring died first, and I was hurt by him because Keith was cool, another cool one, and then Jean Michel, and I was like, damn. And he was my connection to the music, and I didn't know at that time. But one advice that he gave me, he said, "Yo, you smart. You can do this too." And so all I did was reflect on what he did in the studio, and I went back and recorded my first record that I produced myself. And that's K-Rob. This is the day K-Rob came back. You can look it up on YouTube. It's on here. Somebody's selling it. And that was the first thing, you know, and that was fun doing that. And then it led to, you know, me coming out signing with Profile Records. And I just wanted to give y'all a little bit of that story, and then, you know, I'll, you know, share a little light on you. Then I met Duke Booty, you know, from The Message. Don't push me, 'cause I'm close to the edge. I'm trying not to lose my head. Met him, you know, and he taught me. He was nice as a producer. He taught me some things and stuff like that. And that's when I did I'm a homeboy, and I like to make noise. Rapping to the beat is my main joy. And I did that record, you know, he produced that, and he taught me about, you know, producing in hooks like that, because I didn't know. It was totally different. And, you know, he taught me the format and that, and then let me on to, you know, become a producer. And you know, I'll later tell you in my next story how I hooked up and started doing stuff, producing records with Jay-Z. You already know. Can I live? Did that part too, the whole song. And how I met Jay-Z. I'll tell you that little story. Tune in. Peace.